Too many thoughts on my mind, I can't sleep at night, so I just keep writing. I don't need no help, I don't need opinions, so don't waste my time then. I just been living online.
Hello Internet, Mr. D's back. Today I will be starting a series of videos going over my top 10 albums of 2018. For this first video, I'll be talking about the honorable mentions 10 through 6. Following this video, I will release one video per album of my top 5. So video for number 5, video number 4, and so on, up until the final number 1 Mr. D's best, most favoritist album of 2018. Let's not waste any time. Let's just jump into the list. Number 10, here we go. So coming in hot at number 10, we have Travis Scott's Astroworld. In the grand scheme of hip-hop releases, I would call this release a success. Album debuted number 1. Everybody loves Sicko Mode. And I think Travis Scott, although he kind of bloated the last half of the album, I still think he put out a pretty fantastic project. And I say this with full confidence. If Travis Scott released the first 8 tracks, so I think it's Stargazing to Wake Up, maybe sneak in Butterfly Effect, those 9 songs, this album would be in my top 3. He'll have to settle for number 10. I hope he's not too disappointed. There's just so much filler on the back end. I tried listening to it a couple days ago on a road trip, and there was just nothing there. It was painfully mediocre. But I want to talk about the first half because it's just so stellar, so rich with hits. Couldn't be more impressed with it. First up in Stargazing, we get those really stellar beat switches that kind of come up throughout the rest of the project. Carousel, you get this really smooth, really awesome Frank Ocean feature. And then there's that third song, I think it's called Sicko Mode. How did that one go? That's literally just a video of the producer playing the same chords on the piano. I've watched it so many times. Top 3 songs, Butterfly Effect, Stargazing, and I think it's Sicko Mode, yeah. Number 9, let's look at it. Coming in at number 9 of Mr. D's top 10 albums of 2018, we get Ski Mask the Slump Gods album, Stokely. This was a huge surprise for me. If someone would have told me that I would have been bumping Faucet Failure after basketball practice, I'd say, what the hell are you talking about? None of that makes sense. Ski Mask has struck a chord with me. I definitely like what this guy brings to the table. I should have known his XXL freestyle this past year was one of the best.
I heard Freddie, don't fuck with the fizz. Yellow bitches on me like lemon head. Run on my set like Ed and Eddie. Red and black sweater like my name is Freddie. Color spaghetti. I so messy. Pico khaki. Never lackey. Keep that 30 in my jacket. Look at the diamonds, they on hush mode. Cause I buy diamonds for the X-hole. It be so clear and so see-through. Like a nigga looking through the peephole.
He just has something that Trippie Redd and Juice WRLD doesn't have. A personality maybe, talent, rap ability, something, I don't know. As a whole, this album just brings super diverse production, really wide range of styles, and most importantly, Ski Mask brings these really humorous and witty bars, and he has them for days. There's so many. Although there are a couple songs that sort of fall flat, overall, fantastic project. If I had to choose a top 3 track list, we'll go number 3, Nuketown featuring Juice WRLD. This is like the kickoff for the album. Really terrific way to start a project. Juice actually raps really well. He brings these really fiery, really passionate verses. Ski Mask and Juice WRLD, they complement each other really well. 2, we have Faucet Failure. I gotta put this one on there. Like, this was kind of the big hit song that everyone loved on it, and for good reason. It's really catchy, a lot of really clever verses. The chorus is fantastic. It's hard not to love this one. And lastly, Reborn to Rebel. I don't care what anyone says, I love this song. The moment I first heard it, that beat kind of sunk itself into my brain, and I love the message. It's kind of corny, fighting against the government, standing up for what you believe in. It's nice to see kind of a new school hip-hop guy rap about this kind of stuff. I will be keeping my eye on Ski Mask projects in 2019. Let's move on to number 8. Coming in at number 8, we got Mona Lisa from Joell Ortiz and Apollo Brown. I already did a bit of a 5-minute special on this one. Roll the clip. Listen to this album. Honestly, one of my favorite projects of 2018. Let's do top 3 songs. Number 3, Timbaland Up. Really angry, passionate, fiery bars with a really cool Royce da 5'9" feature. Awesome track. Number 2, That Place. Kind of a weird song that stuck out to me. Joel Ortiz lays out this really fantastic contrast between like the devastation and the despair that can happen in a hospital versus the joy and the happiness that comes with new life. Really cool storytelling in this song. Definitely one to check out. And number 1, Reflection. This is the track that got me into the album. Opener kind of talks about how hip-hop isn't the same anymore. It kind of sounds really cocky and really arrogant, but these two guys back it up. They bring fantastic lyrics, really stellar production, and they talk about really interesting, relevant, important topics in their music. If you are looking for new music to check out, I would really recommend Joel Ortiz, Apollo Brown, Mona Lisa. Mr. D's number 8 album of 2018. Let's move on to number 7. Mr. D's number 7 album of 2018. It's Care For Me by Saba. So, a student told me to check out this album from Saba, and my first reaction was, Saba? Like, he was on a song with Chance the Rapper, kind of a sugary, sweet feature on a song called Angels. I'll check it out. My God, I slept on this album, but you have to listen to it. It is phenomenal. Every song on the project touches on an important subject, an important theme, and it's just rich with just creative detail. Saba does a great job telling the stories that he does. Captures these really complex messages, but doesn't sacrifice that really gorgeous sound that Saba brings on this album. Let's take a look at 3 of my favorite tracks from this album. First up is Life. So this song kind of breaks down the many hardships that Saba has had in his young life so far. Something that comes up a lot in this project is the untimely death of his cousin Walter. The listener gets a solid background on what it is that happened to him. I won't spoil it. He discusses the hypocrisy of the government, the stigmatized position of black people in the United States, surviving as an introvert in a business that requires you to be very extroverted, dealing with negative feedback from friends and family when you kind of make that leap into a rap career. So many themes, so many themes. I'll also put up Logout and Gray, 2 songs. They come up back to back. Both are just absolutely stellar. So Logout features Chance the Rapper, and it talks about society's obsession with social media and that addiction of presenting yourself to the internet constantly. And then Gray kind of stuck out to me too. It talks about how record labels really only care about the hits, getting the clicks. Saba kind of argues that the best content on an album comes on the B-sides or the demo tapes, because record companies just want to push out the hits that are going to get them the most downloads, the most streams, and you usually have to sacrifice some lyrical content in order to appease a larger audience. Look at content from guys like Migos or Rich the Kid or Lil Baby. It's all the same. It's all flash, no substance. And Saba talks about that in this song. Honestly, I could teach an entire unit of English on this album. It's so rich and detailed and creative and fantastic. It is out of this world. Next, let's check out the number 6 album, Vacation in Hell from Flatbush Zombies. For this album, I just want to tell a story. Back in February, Flatbush Zombies put out a music video for their new single on this album, Headstone. I was obsessed with it. I listened to this song so many times. That I went online, checked if they were coming to Vancouver, saw they were coming to Vancouver in April, and I bought tickets just on this song. I had to come up with this very bold plan of after school, I had to bus and then SkyTrain out to Vancouver. I got an Airbnb set up, all to see the Flatbush Zombies at Vogue Theatre. by myself. Out of the hundreds of concert goers at the Vogue Theater, I was definitely in the top 10 oldest people at that show. So I could stick with the crowd for the first hour and a bit of Flatbush Zombies. Those openers, they just wore on me. My legs were killing me. I was exhausted. I ended up enjoying the rest of the show from the balcony away from the crowd. And unfortunately, I, wait for it, left early just to beat the crowd out of the venue. But I'm glad I did it. They put on a hell of a show. And if I was a couple years younger, maybe I would have stuck around for the whole thing. Just check out You and I featuring Daya, Vacation featuring Joey Badass, and of course, Headstone. So that's my 10 through 6. Stay tuned for my next video where I'll go over number 5, number 4, 3, 2, and you guessed it, all the way to the #1 album in Mr. D's eyes of 2018. See you later, Internet.